So it is Sunday, which means it's another food prep day, and we're gonna keep it super simple today. We're gonna make two totally different dishes with pretty much like the same ingredients here, okay? So they're both essentially chicken and rice, different ways. One's gonna be like a chicken fajitas, kind of Mexican style, right? The other one's gonna be kind of a sweet and sour chicken. So the fajitas are gonna get like a black bean, cilantro, and lime rice. So I've done a little bit of the prep work to just make this easy and streamlined. So while I get some of this going here, I'm just gonna talk about, so last week was a good week, getting back in the gym, being pretty consistent. Again, that's not my normal like training style, how I would do that. Last week was just, get back in there and be consistent, right? So I've been thinking about how I'm going to break up my workouts, what kind of split I am going to do. And I think what I'm going to do, and something that's worked for me before, and, this is not standard stuff, but it's a 3-day split, okay? So basically, it's chest and triceps, and then back and buys, and then legs and shoulders, and repeat. Take breaks as necessary. For me, it's pretty much always Saturday is going to be a rest day. Probably get back into doing some stuff on Sundays. Saturdays are just busier days for me in general. Gosh, I did not divide that evenly at all. But yeah, I think that'll be pretty effective for me. Try and stay maybe in the 8 to 12 sets per muscle group, because sometimes you end up hitting the same muscle group twice within a week, obviously, or a lot of times you always do. So yeah, I want to get back to that. I've had really good results with that split. And then when I'm doing my cardio, so it'll be like 30 minutes of cardio, I'll do that in the morning, so I'm not too burned out before I hit the gym. And then just starts the day off on the right foot. Kind of, wakes me up in the morning and gets me ready to go for the day. So for this food prep here, okay, the reason there's a couple reasons I like doing my food prep like this, okay? Now I'm eating the same thing every day for lunch and the same thing every day for dinner, which some people might not like. I don't dislike it. The reason is I can just cook 2 meals, keeps it fast, keeps it simple, but most importantly for me, the other thing, it keeps it affordable, but most importantly for me, it makes it super easy to track the calories, because I just combine up all the ingredients and then divide it by X amount of meals. And then I don't have to worry about every day trying to do my calories, do my macros, all this stuff. It's just there, ready to go. I know every day I'm eating the exact same thing. So I figure it out one time during the week and I'm good to go. It takes a lot of pressure off making sure you're not eating too much or too little. And that's a huge thing for me. So for example, I know that the sweet and sour chicken is going to be about 700 calories per meal. And the fajitas, it's going to be about the same as 700 calories per meal. Now, if I'm eating about 700 calories for breakfast, puts me at about 2,100 calories. And then, of course, kind of allow myself one healthier kind of snack up to, 200 something calories per day. Now, that's like a huge caloric deficit for me. I can do that, and I've had really good success with that before. I don't know if I necessarily recommend that, especially with the cardio and trying to lift and stuff, but it works for me, and I've noticed I can do that pretty consistently for 2 or 3 months at a time. Now, the other thing today is I get my cheat meal today. When I was doing this last time, I did a big cut, went from like 270 down to about 215 or so. I made it way harder than it needed to be because I was doing like cheat weekends. It was ridiculous. I was starving myself during the week, and then on the weekends I was eating just everything under the sun. So this time around, I'm doing one cheat meal a week. Tonight's going to be cheeseburger, baked potato. Yeah, that's it. So no alcohol. I'm not doing any alcohol for the next couple months, and no desserts at all. I mean, save for the, Christmas coming up, I'll obviously go a little bit off for that. But other than that, yeah, I think on one cheat meal a week, being real good on the weekends, I'll be able to do really good, and I shouldn't have a problem losing the weight. Should be pretty straightforward. Okay, so both of these just start out the same, okay? You just brown up your chicken a little bit. Super easy. Add a little bit of soy sauce, and this is going to be all of our sodium and salt content is going to come from this soy sauce. So I'm not going to add any salt to either of these dishes. But that's pretty much where the differences stop, okay? Well, actually, they're both going to get a bunch of black pepper. If you watch my food prep videos, you're going to see I have an unhealthy obsession with black pepper. So they're both going to get a ton of that. And then into, let's see, so the fajitas here, we're going to put in a bunch of paprika, okay, bunch of chili powder. Gonna go in with some onion powder, being pretty liberal with the spices here. Garlic powder, crushed red pepper, and a bunch of cumin. Make sure it's not cinnamon, because I've done that before. Okay. Get this all mixed up. And this is so simple. It's coming along pretty quick already, okay? It smells freaking delicious, man. All those chili spices and stuff, they're so good. Okay, so this one, gonna brown this a little bit more. And this is going to get a little bit of white vinegar. It's gonna give us a little bit of our sour, and it is going to get some brown or some white sugar, okay? Not super aggressive amounts, a couple tablespoons. Now this is for 10 servings, okay? So even, if I'm using a little less than a quarter of a cup or so, that's not going to hurt anyone. It's just going to help our sauce thicken up a smidge. So cost on this, all in, all the ingredients, and I've got a bunch of peppers over here, okay? These are both going to get onions and bell peppers. So again, super simple ingredients, but two totally different dishes. But it makes it so easy to do the shopping list and the prep and everything like that, okay? So total cost for 20 meals, again, lunch and dinner for me and my wife, Monday through Friday, we're at like $30. So yeah, we're talking like $1.50, maybe up to $2. It's so easy to do this. Saves huge amounts of time, which is good. It's time I need to put into obviously the gym and my music and stuff like that. So we go in with these veggies. Hit this, okay? Stir this up. And this is, oh man, this is going to be so good. I love this one. Okay, so for my wife, she's going to do a little bit of cheese and sour cream on the fajitas. I'm going to keep it simple because I don't want the extra fat or calories. So I'm going to just do a little bit of salsa, which has negligible amount of calories, like 10 calories per serving. So pretty small. So yeah, I don't know why more people don't do this, the misconception that food prep is hard or time consuming or expensive. I'll probably say this in every single food prep video that I do, but it's really not. It's just not. So yeah, back to, as far as training goes, I think I can do that split with pretty high intensity, and I usually recover pretty quick. I might be sore like the day after legs or something, but I can do, if I do a heavy chest day, even next day, I don't really feel it. I feel ready to go again right away. So 3-day split for me shouldn't be a problem. We might alter that as things go on. We'll see how the intensity is and, see how the energy is with losing the weight. But I don't see it being a huge problem. Now, abs are not, I didn't mention that in that split, but those will be kind of a, whenever available kind of thing. Usually probably I'll hit some in the mornings after cardio, stuff like that. I don't want to neglect my core, but obviously if I'm doing squats, deadlifts, lots of big heavy lifts, naturally the core is going to strengthen up, but I don't want to completely, just pretend like I don't have to do abs. Okay, we're going to switch these, get this one on the higher heat over here. So yeah, for food prep this time around, I'm trying to be a lot more, just strict, a lot more disciplined with it, because like I said last time, I was Monday through Friday, I was killing myself, but the weekends I was just overdoing it. And part of that was my eating schedule. I was just getting so hungry throughout the days because of the way I was breaking up my eating. And it was just making me crave food all the time. And I was just constantly hungry. So all I was thinking about was just eating. Whereas now, because I'm eating, kind of when I wake up, and then my meals are spaced evenly throughout the day, I'm feeling sustained pretty much all day. And I know that I'm getting enough food in to keep me energized, but also I'm eating way under maintenance calories. So for the first month or so, I'm thinking at least probably 2.5 pounds per week, especially, doing 30 minutes of cardio a day. It should be, pretty easy. So one thing we're going to add, let's see. Okay. So for the sweet and sour chicken, I'm going to make a little bit of a cornstarch slurry here, because we just want to thicken up this sauce a little bit without adding too much sugar. But we definitely want kind of a glaze on it. So this is just cornstarch and a little bit of hot water. And I hope you guys can see how absolutely easy this is. I've already got rice cooked, and all I have to do is add some black beans, that little bit of cilantro and lime, and throw it in containers. This is just gonna go, or this one's just gonna go on some plain rice. So, what have we been filming for 10, 15 minutes? And we're pretty much done here. So we're gonna take this cornstarch slurry, we're gonna spread that out in there, and then we'll give this a quick stir. And within seconds, you'll start to see this thickening up pretty good. We'll let this just blast away on this heat, and it'll kind of, the sugar in there will start to caramelize a little bit more, give us a little bit of that kind of coating that we want on that chicken. But other than that, guys, this is pretty much it. I mean, this chicken's done, okay? Now, when people say, you know, chicken and rice, that's, you know, food prep's just chicken and rice, blah, 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 sounds disgusting because you think you're just going to be eating an assload of plain chicken and dry rice. But I don't know about you. I don't know how well you can see that through the steam, but I think that looks pretty good, especially on that rice. Throw some green onion on top of there, a little bit of lettuce, you know, all these things that have like 0 calories that we can add as much of as we want, these kind of toppings. And then this, I could have put pineapple in here. I'm not a fan of cooked pineapple, but if you are, go ahead and do it. If you want it sweeter and more of that like caramelized glaze that people like, go ahead and add more sugar. I'm trying to avoid it. But again, and we'll see if we can see this through the steam without spilling all of it. Hopefully that's focusing there. But if not, simple, but I know it's gonna be delicious. And that's it, you guys. So I had like maybe 15 minutes of prep because I had a lot of chicken that I had to cut up. That took me a little bit. The vegetables, super easy. So 15 minutes of prep, $30 of shopping, and 15 minutes of actual cook time. Half an hour, $30, and that's 20 meals for the week for me and my wife. And you mean to tell me you're too busy to food prep? And these are not the most glamorous meals. That's not the point. But compared to normal standards in the fitness world, I think there's a lot of people who would certainly tolerate eating this. And we don't want to cook this too long. We don't want the veggies to get like super mushy. You guys, that's it. These meals are done. The only thing left to do is put a bunch of rice in a bunch of containers, put it all in the fridge, and grab it as I walk out the door for the day. And then when I come home, all I have to do, go hit my workout, come upstairs, heat one of these up, and I'm ready to go. So I will get this all in containers so y'all can see what it looks like. But you guys, that was real time. I'm not going to edit any of this. I could edit it to make it shorter and easier, but I want you guys to see real time how easy this is. And there's learning curves, okay? Like, it might take you a little bit longer if you don't, you know, if you're not comfortable in the kitchen and stuff. A lot of people second guess, but once you get fast, you get efficient, you get your knife skills up, cutting gets super fast. You learn how to do it. You take a little bit of time, but anyone in the world, I'm convinced, can do this in under an hour, okay? So I'm gonna stop this here for now while I get the rice and all that fun stuff. I'll come back, I'll show you the packaged version of this stuff, and we might throw in a clip of that burger and that potato later, but we'll see. But for now, you guys, we're done with the food prep portion. So we are finished up. Took just a smidge longer than anticipated. I had to wait on another pot of rice. But in the meantime, cleaned up 90% of the kitchen, got everything done. Hasn't been that long. Took me like 20 minutes to wait for this rice. I'm going to show you guys what we got here, okay? So we got our fajitas here, right? Okay. Our black bean rice and cilantro, our little bit of salsa there. And then we've got our sweet and sour chicken. So all in, cleaning, everything, food prep, or the veggie prep, you know, all the cutting and the cooking, cleaning, packaging, all in under an hour. I'm going to be, let's be a conservative and say maybe $2 per serving. You mean to tell me, you know, people aren't going to pay, like you wouldn't pay $2 for that? It's not the most pretty or amazing food in the world. But for the price, man, and the benefit to me is, so if you don't food prep, if you're not really, really disciplined, I think people consume a lot more calories than they think they do because they buy something fast and easy and they might think it's healthy. But if you're not one of those people that's tracking everything, I've never been able to do that. I've never really had a desire to. Um, like you're gonna overeat. So for me, this is a perfect way. And this is all I eat. I eat just my food prep and my breakfast, which this week is gonna be oatmeal and eggs, maybe a little bit of berries in the oatmeal, something like that. But anything off the menu is completely non-negotiable for me. And so doing this sort of stuff saves money, keeps me consistent, keeps me disciplined, frees up a lot of time for me because now I don't have to cook. And so it's finding these little ways to keep you on track. That's going to be the key to success for me, is that I know that I can do this. While I've been doing it for years, it hasn't always been the healthiest food, but I've been food prepping for a long time. So the combination of this, the cardio, and the super consistent lifting is going to be a big deal for me. So that's going to wrap it up, guys, for the food prep. Tomorrow, we're going to get back in the gym. We're going to start with chest and triceps. And then, again, it'll be back and buys, legs and shoulders. Repeat as needed. Take rest days only when I need them. 150 minutes of cardio a week. One cheat meal a week. Setting ourselves up for success here, you guys. So I'm done going crazy. I'm all in on this, completely sold on the idea of this is the way it's going to be. And this is all I'm allowed to do for the next couple of months.